So, when we are comparing our amplitude modulation and frequency modulation is going to perform better. So in case of microwave communication, always we prefer frequency modulation. So in the coming section, we will be discussing about frequency modulated microwave radio stations. The stations, we know it can be of two types, that is a terminal and a repeater station. In this section in detail we will be seeing about the terminal station. There will be two types of station, that is a terminal station and the repeater station. So terminal stations are from where the communication is going to start, that is the baseband signal. It is going to either originate or terminate. So either the communication is going to start or stop from the terminal, that is the end stations. And in the repeater stations, we know that at repeater what will happen, it is simply going to either modify, that is amplify, reshape, and it is going to pass again along the communication link. So it is a point where the baseband signal, it may be reconfigured. That is, we have seen the three types of repeaters in microwave communication: IF repeater, baseband repeater, and RF to RF repeater. So in these three repeaters, we have seen that except for the RF to RF repeaters, we can have a reconfiguration. So either we can reconfigure, reshape, etc., or simply we can have a RF to RF conversion. So that is what for the repeater stations. So we are having two station, terminal station and repeater station. Next, the terminal station. Now think of the terminal station. We know that obviously the first incoming will be our baseband section. Then how do we transmit it? We have to transmit it in the high frequency RF range. So between the baseband and the RF section, there should be a IF section. That is, there should be a frequency modulating IF section. Now here you can see an additional component, that is wireline entrance link. So this is going to, in the name itself it is written, a link between these sections, between the baseband, that is between the multiplexing sections of the baseband and between the IF section. This is going to provide a link. So the name wireline entrance link. So these are the main section components of the terminal station. Now the baseband, it can be of the several different type of signals. I told you that the baseband section, that is when we learn in the frequency modulated block diagram, frequency modulation block diagram of the microwave transmitter, the baseband, it is not going to be a single signal. It will be a multiplexed signal, that it can be either frequency division or it can be time division multiplexed, or it can be a composite video signal, etc. So that is our baseband section. Now coming to the next one, wireline entrance link. So here you can see this is a baseband section, and before the frequency modulation and IF section, we are having a wireline entrance link. So this wireline entrance link, it is going to serve as an entrancing link between these multiplexing equipments from the baseband section and the IF section. So here when we observe these blocks, we can see that all this is for reshaping, or that is equalizing, or the amplifier phase shifter, pre-emphasis, that is for maintaining a uniform signal to noise ratio, or for reshaping of the signals, we are having this wireline entrance link. And also if our station, it is going to be a large station, we prefer that all the similar equipments are being housed in one single building. So this wireline entrance link, it is going to provide a simplicity to our large terminal station, so that we can place all the similar equipments together, and it is going to simply serve as a link between these two sections. And the next section is the FM-IF section. So here instead of using one FM deviator, we have used two FM deviators with carrier frequencies of F1 and F2, so that our linearity requirements, it is going to decrease. So for more simplicity only, we have used here two FM deviators and then combining it in a linear mixer to get our required IF. So IF we know it is always going to be in the ranges of 60 to 80, 70 megahertz IF range. So we are having here two FM deviators which is going to provide the frequency modulation, and then a linear mixer which will give our required IF. And what will be there in the corresponding receiver section? There will be first of all limiter circuits to limit the noise and to limit the high frequency noise components, and then we will be having the FM demodulator, then amplifier, pre-emphasis network and equalizer. So the same equipments we will be having here also, that is we will be having IF section, wireline entrance link, baseband section. So we can, if after giving the block diagram, you have to go on to briefly explain about each of these sections. So in the case of wireline entrance link, it is a building that houses a radio station. If it is quite large, we are going to place all the similar equipments at a common location. So it will be simplifying the system, and providing of the DC power and other cabling requirements, it is going to become more easy. So if we want any maintenance, or if we want to give a supply, or if we want to extend our system, having such an entrance link is going to help us. That is why we have wireline entrance link. So dissimilar equipment can be separated by a considerable distance. Now wireline entrance link, it is going to say basically as an interface between the multiplex equipments and FM IF equipment. And in case of wireline entrance link, we can have amplifiers, equalizers, or even level shaping devices like pre-emphasis and de-emphasis. Now next one is the IF section. So here we are using two FM deviators which is going to produce the modulation of the IF carrier, which will become our main microwave carrier. So here we have, since we have used the two FM deviators, it will reduce the magnitude of phase deviation required of a single deviator by a factor of 2. So it is actually making the system simple by reducing the deviation linearity requirement. And also we know the main problem in the case of a frequency modulated system when you are comparing with the amplitude modulated microwave is the formation of unwanted modulation products. So instead of using a single modulator, if you are able to use more than one modulator, which will reduce our linearity requirements, there is a chance that our unwanted modulation products also can be controlled. Okay, so this is the IF section. So in the case of our microwave terminal station, we have to see the RF section as separate. What all components were there in our terminal station? We had a baseband section, then we had a wireline entrance link which was connecting our baseband and our IF section. So after doing the frequency modulation and bringing it to IF, then we need a RF section. So this RF section is shown here. So here at the input we will be having a IF signal which has to be up converted to RF, and at the output we are having a RF out, and this has to be given to the receiver part. Okay, so this IF input, as you can see, it is entering through a protection switch. So this is a protection switch, and if we want we can give it to a protection channel. That is, if the say a maintenance is going on or if there is a problem, we can with the help of this switch give it to a protection channel. In the protection channel also these components will be present. And this IF amplifiers and this compression amplifier, its duty is in order to maintain this IF signal. We know the range of the IF in microwave communication. So we have to keep this IF at a required level and give it for the further up conversion. So this is up converting section. So here a transmit modulator, that is transmode means a transmit modulator, it is being shown, which is going to up convert this incoming IF with the help of a microwave generator. So we can use any of our microwave generators, and along with this incoming IF, this transmit modulator, it is going to up convert to the RF signal. And For transmitting the RF, we require again power amplifiers and band pass filter. This is band pass filter. It is actually BPF. So then there will be isolator section and the channel combining network. Now in this power amplifiers, when we are doing the up conversion and bringing it to the power amplifier, you can use any of your power amplifier like the klystron or traveling wave tube or even impact diodes, etc. And very high power it has to provide. That is why we are using these amplifiers. And next there has to be this isolator. We know that we have got many channels, and we know the function of a ferrite oscillator. So strongly we should be having a device which is only going to transmit the signals in the forward and not in the backward direction. So with the help of this isolator, that is our ferrite material, we are using it along with the channel combining network. So here, since we have to multiplex the signals from the other channels also, this isolator is much required. Then through the channel combining network, we will be having a single transmission line feeding a antenna at the output. So this is the RF section transmitter. Now the RF section, as I explained, IF enters through protection switch, and there are amplifiers which keep the IF power constant and at the required power level to the transmit modulator. And the transmit modulator, it is used along with the microwave generator, power amplifier, band pass filter, etc., which is up converting the IF to RF. And further we are having the amplifiers which amplifies the RF to the desired output power. Then the power amplifier, as I told, we can use either klystron, traveling wave tube or even impact diodes. And high gain antennas are to be used. We know that we are having a line of sight communication and the distance is going to be short. So it is not necessary to develop a high output power from the transmitter output amplifiers. So there is not a necessity. It is not a necessity to actually use the amplifiers which is going to give you a very high output power. Instead of that, we can use high gain antennas. That is what we mean by this particular statement. So our requirement of this amplifier, if it is not up to the standard also, we can use high gain antennas. And here are the values which is given for a typical transmitting powers and typical gain for the antennas. Then the need for a microwave generator. Either we can use a crystal oscillator along with multipliers, or you can use your conventional microwave generators and its operating range is given. Then the need for an isolator is given along with the channel combining network. So these actually is explaining the sections of the RF section of a microwave terminal station. Now about the RF section receiver. So the same components which is present in the transmitter is being present in the receiver side. So what is the input we are getting from the transmitter? We are getting our RF input and it has to be down converted to the IF. So with the help of your receiver, modulator and microwave generator, we are down converting it to IF, and obviously again with the help of the processing circuitries, that is amplifiers, automatic gain control, etc. We have to give this IF output to our remaining terminal station. So the RF section only we are seeing it as a separate one. Then this further IF output, it has to be demodulated to the baseband that we have seen in the first block diagram. So this shows only the RF section receiver. So here we are having the same components as that of the RF section transmitter. In addition, we are having here IF amplifiers and automatic gain control circuitries. And also this protection switch, that is for the protection switching arrangement. So if we are getting a voice frequency, this VF line indicates a voice frequency. If we are getting such a tone encoded signal, it means that there is some problem, so we have to switch it to our another channel. So we have seen the block diagram of this RF receiver. It is same as that of the transmitter components, but here instead of this RF amplifiers, remember we are using IF amplifiers with automatic gain control circuitries. So if you are using RF amplifiers, that is amplifiers in high frequency ranges, again there may be some non-linearities and we need to employ further low noise amplifiers. So examples of commonly used low noise amplifiers are given like tunnel diode, parametric amplifiers, etc. And in the block diagram we have seen that for down converting we have used receiver modulator, which is used for down conversion. So in this block diagram we have seen that we have not used a RF amplifier, instead we have used IF amplifier, which is going to overall improve the signal to noise ratio. So in this section we have discussed about the uh, terminal station of the microwave communication. So basically there are two types of station, terminal and repeater station. We have seen about the block components of the terminal station and we have discussed RF section as a separate one. In the next section we can see about the repeater station for a microwave communication.